by changing the ending, okay? So let's go for the next part. Any questions on that? Are we clear on this?
Yes.
Fabulous.
We are complete.
Okay, good. In both Spanish, it's more than just I'm going to eat, like I'm going to eat.
Cultural borrowing is when
like they don't credit them for
take other cultures and use it in either a nice or rude way.
Okay, so why do you think it occurs?
education. Those are all like
I think because some people, some people like don't like take their culture seriously, so they want to conduct other cultures into theirs and mix it up, but kind of appreciate theirs for being their culture. Do you guys understand
What do you think, Michaela?
Well, thank you for trying to add into this conversation. Well, like today we discussed in class how sometimes some cultures want to take other things from their culture because they like what they do and they want to implement it into their own and create their own type of unique culture and style. And that's where that good cultural borrowing idea comes from. And in a bad way is if they just blatantly take it and just use it for their own and does not give credit to where they took it from.
Okay, what do you think? So what do you think happens to this culture after it's been brought
Kind of goes viral, but it kind of, you know how like when you pass the message around, when you like whisper into people's ear, it don't come out the same way as what the original thing was, you know what I mean? So therefore when the culture spreads, it like, you know, expands to be something totally different than what the original thing is. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, totally.
I really like how you brought that all together so you can really see how sometimes when you borrow someone else's culture it doesn't come out the same way, and sometimes they take credit for what it really isn't and they change it around and they forget where it really is.
Right on.
What about you? What do you think about it, Kennedy?
What happens
I'm
to
sorry, I'm
the
just
culture?
trying to write down what you guys.
What do you think happens to the Okay, what do you think happens to the culture after it's
What do
been
you
borrowed?
think? I think that people don't take it seriously. Like they use it in a very like mean way. Yeah, that's really it. They don't like my peer said. They don't know where everything came from.
Okay, so what do you think the importance of cultural borrowing is? What do you think?
I think it would just mainly be the appreciation of the culture.
Okay, so let's say Chipotle. You know how their Mexican food is like cultural borrowing, original
I don't
Mexican
think
food.
that's-
Most people don't agree with it because they feel like it's like a fake. So what do you think about that?
I don't. I feel like sometimes people who are actually eat authentic Mexican food say that it's fake because they Americanize what they taste as their own culture out here in America. So places like Chipotle and Taco Bell, they're an Americanized way of an Americanized version of their food, and they don't really grow up as real because in actuality, they do not eat burritos out there or tacos. That's something that stereotype they put onto the Mexican American culture. Yeah, like for example, going back to my example, it's like Mexican food has been like eaten, cooked, and then when the fast food restaurants come out, it's like at the end of the trail, and it's like not originated. You know what I mean?
Okay, so since we're on the topic of food, what do you think how food relates to the country's culture? How do you think it relates to the culture?
Rita.
To where like, sometimes each culture has their own unique type
60
of
seconds to finish your thoughts on the last person who's talking.
You know,
Then
sometimes
everyone's gonna stop
there's a
talking.
misconception
And
of
I'll tell you what else to
stereotyping
do, okay?
food in the culture that you have. Because, like, if you're African American, then you'll be fried chicken, and stuff like that. But in actuality, there's a way there's deeper root to what you're eating, and they only want to take out what they believe is the most beneficial for them. And that's what happens with a lot of other cultures. They only take out what seems the most beneficial, when in actuality, there's so much more things that they eat and do that are more enriching. And that's what stereotypes.
Video slash speech that she made about cultural borrowing.
Well, it sounds like we we as a country and other countries kind of borrow other, not just America, but other countries. We go on, like, you know, we practice our own cultures, but at the same time we have like other cultures that we practice from other countries.
You started already. I'm glad.
Would it be considered stealing if like we culturally borrow something and we claim it as our own? Wouldn't it consider stealing?
Yeah.
In what way does food and culture intertwine?
Food is part of like the whole, you know, get up in the morning, eat lunch, and then eat dinner. Huh? I just said breakfast. Would you like to share?
Did he say breakfast?
No,
He said get up in the morning, eat lunch. And then
Well, you can take over.
What's your number 2? How do you think food and culture like intertwine with each other?
I think that every culture has their own food that they make, and I feel like it becomes a tradition, like for my family. Like on Christmas, sometimes like gumbo, so it's like it becomes but within each culture, I feel like it's still different because everybody does the same things in their house.
So say we African Americans eat like a different kind of cultural food. Would that be considered culturally borrowing? If we as African Americans eat like a different cultural food, would that be considered cultural borrowing?
I don't think so.
Depends on what it is. Yeah. It's just eating food. So, like, why do we even have to practice whatever culture we have? Can't we just like
Okay,
this is what we do to survive?
in that reading we had for the Do Now, it said pizza is a good example of how a cultural item can change form as it is used. Because this mentions it's from Italy to the United States. Like, in what process does it like appeal to Americans more than it appeals to us?
Well, I think like the way we make it is different because their pizza there is like thinner than ours.
Kind of make it fit our own standard of a good pizza and whatnot. And they see it every day, so they don't really care.
Ours is probably more greasy though.
Another way for the process of change is like, for example, a man who walks 5 miles each day to work quickly realizes that his automobile can get him to work faster with far less effort. Well, for the annotating, it says it's hard to make changes for oneself if you're getting used to something. So say, for example, I move and I'm like very accustomed to a place, but then I have to move somewhere. So it's going to be very hard for that change, but you have to get accustomed to it.
I'm gonna stop there. Thank you.